Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Monte Vista High School here on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network for the last contest between the San Francisco Seagulls and your Crawdads here in the 2025 season. Walnut Creek 13-6 on the season. The Seagulls 5-17. To our Limoncelli, Kasey Kazliner on the call today. Kasey, big win, 10-2 on Sunday as Walnut Creek took yet another game against the Seagulls after faltering in a 10-5 loss against Sonoma the night before. It's a brand new week. It goes Seagulls, then Menlo Park tomorrow, and then a two-game weekend set in San Luis Obispo. What do you think is the most important things the Crawdads have to do today?
Well, of course, they're going on the road. They're going to want to finish it out strong. And again, these two teams are very familiar with each other. I think the Crawdads know what they need to do to get a win against San Francisco. Score early, tack on, and of course, like you said, that last game, they had amazing pitching. Dylan McShane and the bullpen, and the pitching has really been the story these past few weeks. So we'll see how that shapes out with Nathan Nino on the hill, who has kind of struggled in some of his recent appearances.
That's right, Nathan Nino, the rising senior at the University of the Pacific, making his first start of the season today. Nino, 7.04 ERA in 5 games for Walnut Creek. He's gone 7 2/3 innings, 12 strikeouts to 10 walks. Last pitched Friday night against the Seagulls in that 8-3 W, went an inning, struck out 2. So the Fresno native trying to get some good length out of his start today, give the Crawdads an opportunity to score runs early and get aboard. Face another potent Seagulls lineup: Alan Ramirez, Jalen Hodges, Josh Hansen will lead things off 1, 2, 3. Carson Chavez, Derek Waldvogel, Jake Brewer 4, 5, 6. And then Jackson Landry, Thomas Mayer, and Matt Galvin 7, 8, 9. There's a throw from Clisby, who's playing catcher today for Walnut Creek. First pitch, seconds away.
Also get to see Riley Leininger at short, not a position we've seen him at a whole lot. So it'll be interesting to see where he shapes in on defense.
Absolutely, his debut there. Brady Wilson starting at third today for the first time in a while. Chris Esquivel at second, John Ewens at first, Joey Donnelly returns to the lineup playing right, Trey Johnson in center, Cam Taylor in left. First offering to Ramirez, dribbled on the third base side over to Wilson, misses the glove. So first pitch, E5, and Ramirez is aboard.
We were just talking about Riley Leininger not playing there, and then, of course, the error. So interesting thing to keep your eye on.
Absolutely. So now with one aboard, it's Jalen Hodges, the infielder for the Seagulls. A decent season for him, 19 games, hitting 173 on the year. First offering from Nino. Fastball swinging, a ground ball to Esquivel at second. The flip to second for one, the throw to first in time. 4-6-3 double play.
And the glove flip from Esquivel, you love to see it. We've seen him do that multiple times this year, and Esquivel's just so focused at at second.
Absolutely, he's been a fantastic glove in the middle infield. 2 pitches for Nino, 2 outs.
That's how you do it.
Now in the 3-hole, Josh Hansen up to bat. Former USC guy, committed to Cal pretty recently. Appeared in the Sunday game against Walnut Creek, had 2 walks. Nino looking for the call from Clisby, sets out the belt. First pitch to Hansen. Fastball upstairs at 91 miles an hour. 1 ball, no strikes. Hansen played for the Seagulls last year, hit 288 on the season. The 1-0 from Nino. Fastball high again. 2 balls, no strikes. Nino primarily a fastball thrower, also mixes in a slider and a changeup. As he comes home on the 2-0, swing another ground ball, this time to short. Leininger fields, fires a throw into first. Ewens receives, and that'll do it for the Seagulls in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom half of the frame. Walnut Creek coming up to bat for the first time today. We'll have it right after this. Welcome back to the Crawdad Streaming Network here for the bottom of the first. Trey Johnson, Cam Taylor, Joey Donnelly will lead things off for the Crawdads. Brief defensive peek for the Seagulls. Chavez behind the dish. Dwyer Lewis on the mound today. And it's Landry at first, Hodges at second, Mayer at short, Brewer at third. As Johnson, the center fielder for Walnut Creek, steps in, hitting .250 this year, 13 games. Lewis, the Cal State East band, first delivery, and Johnson drives a deep one into right field. That one at the track. Ramirez doesn't put the glove on it. Joey Donnelly gets to second on the error.
Just lost it in the sun. That ball was carrying quite a bit. I mean, we thought maybe at first it was going to be just a kind of lazy fly ball, but that one had some distance.
Absolutely. One pitch, one runner aboard for Walnut Creek. Brings up the left fielder, Cam Taylor. So Alan Ramirez playing in right today for the Seagulls. Josh Hansen in center, Matt Galvin in left. Cam Taylor had a very productive season for Walnut Creek, 12 games, hitting .244. Prior to, pardon me, 4 hits in his last 3 games as he slaps the first offering he sees high into the air on the left field side. Galvin under it and retires Taylor.
They're attacking early.
Both teams are, absolutely. So now here is the newly committed Fordham Ram, Joey Donnelly. Spent 4 seasons at Cal Berkeley, spent this weekend touring schools on the East Coast, went to UMass at Amherst, and Fordham in the Bronx. Perhaps the Crawdads' best hitter before he left after 2 games last week, Tuesday, Wednesday. 7 for 9 in those 2 games, 5 singles and a double, and a home run. Good for 9 runs batted in. First offering to the lefty, Donnelly. Off speed, outside, 1-0. First taken pitch we've seen all day.
Yeah, and a guy like Donnelly, you don't really expect him to take a whole lot of pitches because he just has that bat-to-ball ability. Good to see him back in the order.
Still leads the CCL in batting average, hitting .490. The 1-0 to Donnelly. A high drive into center field. Hansen nearly at the warning track. He'll put it away. Johnson tagging from second base. He'll go to third sliding. Throw not in time. 2 down, a man on third for Brandon Clisby, the catcher in the 4-hole for Walnut Creek. Clisby, another rather hot hitter for Walnut Creek. He's played in 10 games and has hits in 8 of those. Good for a .310 batting average. Clisby, former Monte Vista Mustang, played high school right here in Danville. First righty in the order today for Walnut Creek. Lewis kicks and deals, breaking ball on the outer third, strike 1. Clisby redshirted his freshman year at New Mexico State due to a knee injury, so has not played collegiately yet. The 0-1 from Lewis. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Mayer fielding from short, the throw in time. Crawdad strand the base runner on the error, no hits. We'll head to the the top of the second, see if the Seagulls have some hits in their bats early in this one. Welcome back to the top of the second on the Crawdad streaming network. 4-5-6 due up for the Seagulls. Carson Chavez, the catcher. Derek Waldvogel, designated hitter, and Jake Brewer playing third. Chavez, the Long Beach native. He plays over at Fordham University in the Bronx. Will be a teammate of Joey Donnelly this coming season, 2026.
It's cool to see that CCL crossover.
Absolutely, two California guys making their way out to the East Coast. Nino's first offering outside. 1-0 to Chavez, career .250 hitter in 30 games for the Rams. Takes time outside the right-handed batter's box, steps back in. The 1-0 from Nino, slow kick, fires into the opposite batter's box, 2-0. Chavez for the Seagulls, 16 games this summer, 128 batting average. Last played Saturday night against the Legends in that 5-3 win. Was held hitless in 4 at-bats. The 2-0 from Nino, driven into right center field, down for a base hit. Chavez rounding first, he'll head for second. As Johnson gets it from center field, throws not in time. Leadoff double for Carson Chavez. Seagulls threatening to score.
Yeah, they saw there that Chavez put it the other way. That's something the Seagulls really haven't done against the Crawdads much, is they've usually pulled the ball. And so that's a good hit.
Absolutely a great piece of hitting. Brings up Derek Waldvogel, San Mateo native, with an RBI chance. He's got 6 of them this year already. 6'2", 210-pound designated hitter, ready from the right side. Nino working from the stretch now. Slow kick and a breaking ball in there, strike 1 on the inner third. Nino heading into his second season at University of the Pacific, transferred from Fresno City College after the 24 season. Delivers another breaking ball outside, 1-1. Brief timeout. Brandon Clisby is going to have a battery chat with Nino on the hill.
Nino has that interesting mechanic, kind of that slow downhill motion after he goes up.
And not very high of a leg kick, a little more of a rock back motion, kind of like Yankees reliever Luke Weaver. Either way, it's 1-1 to Waldvogel. Redshirted his freshman year at Skyline College this spring. Nino looks to second. Here's the 1-1. Fastball fouled off towards the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Waldvogel. Had a hit on Sunday against the Crawdads in 4 at-bats, and another one on Friday in 2 at-bats. Guy who generally tends to get a board when he faces Walnut Creek. The 1-2 from Nino. Swing and a miss. Blows a fastball by him at 92 miles an hour. Vogel retired on strikes. That's the first out in the top of the second. And it brings up Jake Brewer, the third baseman, hitting 6th.
Really good stuff there from Nino to fight back. He's a guy that sometimes has been rattled and hard to come back from giving up extra base hits, but a really good recovery there.
Brewer, the San Bruno native, perhaps one of the best hitters in the Seagulls order. 357 average on the season. Takes a breaking ball inside. 1-0. Brewer was held hitless on Sunday against the Crawdads in 3 at-bats, but went 5 for 2 in that Friday night game in San Bruno. Nino winds and deals the 1-0. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Jake Brewer. Kenyatta College man, spent 2 seasons there, 60 games played, 324 career batting average in JUCO ball. Nino's 2 offering, fastball inside. 3 balls, no strikes on Jake Brewer. Still a man over at second, that's Chavez. Brewer trying to work his 10th walk of the season here. The 3-0 from the first base side of the rubber. Swinging a foul ball on the right side. Now 3-1 to Brewer. Looking in, gets the call from Clisby. The 3-1 coming home. Swinging a high chopper, middle of the infield. Lining her over from shortstop. Fields throws to first, gets the out.
Leininger starting at shortstop today, not his normal position, but he's looked pretty good as he kind of took that ball away from Esquivel, but can't blame him, got the out.
Yeah, flashes a little bit of range over there at shortstop. So 2 down, still a runner in scoring position. Chavez is at third as the first baseman, Jackson Landry, steps in from the right-handed batter's box. University of Louisiana at Monroe man, rising sophomore there, trying to drive in a run. First offer from Nino, breaking ball on the inner third, 0-1. Landry, 157 hitter in 22 games at ULM, 152 this year. Swinging a drive on the hanging breaking ball right to Taylor in left field. Didn't really have to move that much. So 1 runner stranded for San Francisco in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning, see if Walnut Creek can get their first hits of the game right after this. We're back for the bottom of the second here on the Crawdad streaming network. Walnut Creek up to bat. 5-6-7 due up. John Ewens, Ryan Bro, and Brady Wilson. Dwyer Lewis, the righty from Half Moon Bay, in his second inning of work. Lewis enters today with a 3.85 ERA in 2 games, one of them start, which came in the 1-7 loss against the Crawdads on June 17th. Pitched 4 innings there, allowed 4 earned runs on 3 hits. First offering to the lefty, Ewens, ball in the dirt. 1-0 to the Baylor man, rising redshirt sophomore there with the Bears. And Kasey, another one of Walnut Creek's best hitters. Ewens leads the CCL in runs batted in at 18, hitting .357 on the year. The 1-0 from Lewis, swing and a miss. 81-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch by him, and it looks like catcher Chavez gets clipped. He'll walk that one off. Ewens with some family and friends in town, visiting all the way out from Waco, Texas. Head coach for the Seagulls, Mark Caviglia, comes out to chat with Chavez, make sure he's okay. Claims he is. Home plate umpire Harvey Maxey doing his due diligence as well. Chavez waving everybody off. Says he's good to go. So Ewan steps back in. Dwyer gets the call from Chavez. Sets at the belt from the first base side of the rubber. The 1-1 to Ewans. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Ewan's support section here said, if they're selling merchandise at the game, we want it. Love that Crawdads branding.
Absolutely. Bought some a couple minutes before the game. Here's the 2-1. Another breaking ball. This time clips the outer third. 2-2 to Ewans. He's currently riding a 5-game hitting streak. He's had 1 hit in each of the past 5 games, dating back to June 24th, last Wednesday, against the Stompers. Here's the 2-2. Dwyer with a 73-mile-an-hour breaking ball in the dirt. Loads the count full to the 6'3", 210-pound lefty. Ewans also has RBIs in 4 of his last 5 games as the 3-2 is low. Ball 4.
Good at bat there from a guy who loves to be kind of trigger happy with his bat to get a board here.
Yeah, Ewans 11 strikeouts to now 7 walks on the season. Like you mentioned, tends to be aggressive in the batter's box, but stays patient here. And it brings up Ryan Brome, the Southeastern Louisiana man. Brome in 5 games for the Crawdads, hitting .250, 4 hits and 16 at-bats. Ewans goes on the first offering. Chavez won't even bother throwing as he had a massive lead. Called strike at the plate. 0-1 to Brome, but a runner in scoring position now.
Great jump there from Ewans. Timed it perfectly.
Brome had 2 hits and 3 at-bats against the Stompers on Saturday night. Drove in 2 runs. As he pops up the 0-1 offering shallow in the infield. Mayer over from short to get it. 1 retired here in the bottom of the 2nd. So now it'll be an RBI opportunity for Brady Wilson, the 3rd baseman hitting in the 7 hole for Walnut Creek. Another guy hitting .250 in 5 games for Walnut Creek. All 4 of his hits on the season came in that June 10th, 24-0 win over the Seagulls. It's 4 for 5 that day, including a grand slam. First offering to him, fastball on the lower third, strike 1. Lewis has looked relatively effective so far. Kasey has allowed just the 1 base runner. Or excuse me, 2, 1 on the error, so technically not allowed. And then the walk to Ewans. Steps on the rubber. The 0-1 to Wilson, swing and a miss out in front of a 74-mile-an-hour curveball.
Yeah, pitching is the X factor for the Seagulls, especially with how little they've shown on offense against the Crawdads this season. Hands down.
Quickly an 0-2 count on Brady. Wilson, excuse me. Former Sac City College man, now committed to the University of the Pacific. The 0-2 breaking ball, strike 3 called on the outer third.
It's a nice pitch.
Absolutely.
Painting the frame.
And of course, Chavez secures it with a nice little frame job. 2 down. Riley Leininger trying to score Ewans from second. Crawdads don't want to leave another man stranded. Leininger making his first appearance at shortstop today for Walnut Creek. He's played in perhaps the most games out of anyone on the Crawdads roster, 18 games, 56 at-bats. First offering to the Texan lefty, breaking ball on the outer third, strike 1. Leininger had a 15-game on-base streak snapped Friday night in San Bruno against these very Seagulls. Held to an 0 for 5 appearance that night. Since then is 2 for his last 5. Check swing on the 0-1, called strike anyway. Lewis just painting the zone right now.
Yeah, his command's been really good here early, aside from that 1 walk, and big test for him here on the 0-2.
Lewis sets at the belt, looks to Ewens at second. Kicks and fires, breaking ball outside this time. 1-2. Leininger redshirted his freshman year this spring at Oklahoma, entered the transfer portal. Yet to commit anywhere, still perusing his options. The 1-2 from Lewis. Fastball outside, 84 miles an hour. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Leininger. The lefty readies in the box. Lewis looking for a put away. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, swinging a drive into shallow center field. Mayer can't get to it from second base. And Ewens obviously took off, rounds third. He'll score easily. Riley Leininger with an RBI single.
Yeah, you don't need to get a pretty hit always to get a run across. And of course, Ewens is going on contact with 2 outs. It's a really good piece of hitting from Leininger to just get the duck store into shallow center.
So the Crawdads with a 1-0 lead here in the early goings. Chris Esquivel, the 9-hole hitter, up. Esquivel, former St. Mary's College man, also in the portal, looking for a new home. 225 hitter this year in 16 games for the Crawdads. We're gonna get a timeout here before the first pitch to Esquivel. San Diego native went 1 for 3 on Saturday night against the Stompers, his most recent appearance. Also walked in that game. Prior to that, had a 4-game hitless streak. First offering to him, fastball on the outer third, strike 1. Leininger 2 stolen bags on the year, not a huge stolen bag threat. The 0-1 to Esquivel, swing and a miss. Nasty curveball gets the bite on the outer third. 0-2 to Esquivel now. Lewis briefly glances to first. The 0-2 coming home. Curveball outside, 1-2. Esquivel in 2025 with the Gales, 14 games, 2 of them he started in. Hit 154 in limited action, just 13 at-bats. The 1-2 from Lewis. Swing and a miss. Another nasty curveball. Dwyer Lewis strands 1, allows 1, but otherwise looking pretty effective. 2 strikeouts. We'll head to the top of the third, see if his team, the Seagulls, can bounce back right after this. Welcome to the top of the third here on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Seagulls up to bat, down by 1. 8-9-1 due up. Thomas Mayer, Matt Galvin, Alan Ramirez. Nathan Nino allowed just the 1 hit in his appearance so far, entering his 3rd inning of work for Walnut Creek. As he'll face the righty Mayer, the UC San Diego man. First offering to him, breaking ball on the inner half, called strike 1. Mayer, 13 games for San Francisco, 146 hitter on the season. Takes the 0-1 outside, 79-mile-an-hour slider. 1-1 to Mayer. this season with the Tritons. 23 games, hit .254, 15 hits. 1-1 fastball runs inside. 2-1. That looked like a two-seamer with a bit of arm side run. Late break at the end. Nino sets, and the 2-1 to Mayer. Looping breaking ball on the inner half. Strike 2 called. Mayer hitless against the Crawdads on Sunday in 3 at-bats. As the 2-2 swinging a foul ball on the right side. Dials up to 93 on the fastball there.
He looks really locked in right now. Even his misses have been close.
Definitely seeing some good stuff from the Pacific Tiger, Nino. The 2-2 once again. Fastball swinging a foul ball again. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I think those mechanics have really kind of fooled the Seagulls so far. I have to wonder if they've had to change their load timing.
It's definitely a good point. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball just high. Full count on Mayer, the San Diego native. He was originally born in Scottsdale, Arizona. Trying to be the leadoff man aboard. Here's the payoff from Nino. Swinging a high fly ball into deep center field. Johnson going back a couple steps before the warning track, and he's got it.
Seagulls have been a bit snake bitten so far. They've hit some deep balls out to the outfield that have kind of just dropped into the gloves.
Yeah, not a ton of wind today either. Just definitely some unfortunate flight paths, so to speak. Here's the 9-hitter, Matt Galvin, playing left field for San Francisco. Another guy who's played nearly every game for San Francisco, 21. Nino's first offering, inside strike called. Another 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's the 0-1 from the righty. Swing a chopper to third. Wilson fields, throws it to first cleanly for the second out of the inning. 2 down as the lineup turns over. Alan Ramirez reached on the E5 in the top of the first. We'll try to start a 2-out rally here. Ramirez has been quite the glove for the Seagulls. Obviously had the error that allowed Trey Johnson to reach in the bottom of the first, but beyond that, he's played mostly second base and has been spotless. Nino's first offering to the righty, fastball outside, 1-0. Ramirez transferred to San Jose State in the fall of 2025, but missed the entire season with a knee injury. As the 1-0 fastball called strike on the outer third from Nino. 1-1 to Ramirez. Here's the 1-1. Curveball swinging a drive into left field, just foul. Ramirez had the distance, was just a hair out in front.
That was close. It's hard to see that line, or excuse me, that foul pole with the trees in the way, but umpire made a good read on it.
Absolutely. Nino gets away from one there. Ramirez, his last year of collegiate ball, spring of 24. 373 average as he takes one inside. 2-2. Nino continues to up the velocity. That one registered 94 miles an hour. The 2-2 from the flamethrower. Swinging a foul ball on the right side. We'll do it again. That 24 season for Ramirez spent at West Valley College. Played in 50 games there. Had 55 runs batted in. 20 doubles, 9 homers, 2 triples. The 2-2 coming home. Fouled back into the screen. Same count. Santa Clara native Ramirez doing a really nice job battling here with 2 down and 2 strikes. The 2-2 from Nino. Swinging a line drive into straightaway center field. Johnson puts it away. 3 up, 3 down. Nathan Nino doing his job effectively. We'll head to the bottom of the third, see if Walnut Creek can extend the 1-0 lead here on the Crawdad Streaming Network. One. Live for the bottom of the third here on the Walnut Creek Streaming Network. Dwyer Lewis, the 6'1", 195-pound righty from Cal State East Bay. In his third inning of work now as the Crawdads lineup turns over. Trey Johnson, Cam Taylor, Joey Donnelly due up. 3 straight lefties for the righty Lewis to get through. Retired Taylor and Donnelly on flyouts. Johnson reached on E9. So all 3 looking for their first hits today. Lewis has only allowed 1 hit to the Crawdads lineup so far. First offering to Johnson, a high fly ball into center field. Hansen working to his right, makes the catch.
You got to give it to both pitchers so far. They've been pitching for just kind of lazy contact at this point, even, you know, for Lewis, who's given up a run.
Absolutely. See if either team makes an adjustment to be more patient in these counts, look for pitches to hit. Either way, it's Cam Taylor with 1 down here in the bottom of the third. Taylor, the Georgia native, calls the Atlanta area his home. First offering to him. Fastball inside, 1-0. Taylor spent this spring at Eastern Kentucky. Played in 15 games there after playing in 54 at Andrew College the year before. The 1-0 from Lewis to the big lefty. Another fastball runs inside. 2-0 to Taylor. Was held hitless on Saturday night against the Sonoma Stompers. 3 at-bats. Did have a sac fly RBI though. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball on the lower third. Called strike 1. Prior to that Saturday night appearance, Taylor had two for 5 appearances. Check swing on the 2-1 curveball inside. Appeal to third says he held up. 3-1. Taylor, disciplined batter for Walnut Creek, has 10 walks on the season. Tries to work another one here. Here's the 3-1 from Lewis. Swinging a foul tip. Ball escapes Chavez below his legs. Full count now to Cam Taylor. Taylor tied for second place in the California Collegiate League in terms of home runs with 2. The payoff pitch, called strike 3, curveball on the outer third. Taylor thought it was ball 4. Home plate umpire Harvey Maxey says, nope, strike 3. So with 2 down, it's Joey Donnelly. Donnelly just committed yesterday to play at Fordham.
The all-time winningest college baseball program at the NCAA level in terms of wins.
First offering to Donnelly, breaking ball, called strike 1. You're right, Casey, over 4,500 wins, I do believe, is the correct stat for Fordham.
Yeah, not one you typically think of, but has that prowess.
The 0-1 to Donnelly. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Alamo native. Despite living just down the road, not only went to De La Salle High School instead of Monte Vista. The 1-1 to the lefty. Swinging a chopper on the left side of the infield. Landry coming over from first, flips to Dwyer, who covers from the mound. Nice play defensively. Crawdads retired 1-2-3. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Seagulls due up right after this. Welcome to the top of the 4th on the Walnut Creek streaming network. San Francisco Seagulls up to bat. 2-3-4 due up. Jalen Hodges, Josh Hansen, Carson Chavez. Nathan Nino, the righty from the Pacific Tigers, entering his 4th inning of work. He's been pretty spotless so far, just the 1 hit allowed. First offering to the righty, Hodges. Fastball driven high in the air on the right side. Ewan's over from first in foul territory. Does he have it? He does indeed.
Wow, he ranged so far, you couldn't even see him really catch it, but he holds the ball up, and that's a great play from Ewans.
Absolutely. Defensive stalwart over at the first bag for Walnut Creek. So now it's Josh Hansen, grounded out to short in his first time up today. Seagulls center fielder trying to get a hit here. Nino, slow kick. First offering fouled back. 91-mile-an-hour fastball there to Hansen. 0-1 to the right-handing center fielder. Nino's delivery upstairs on another fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hansen.
Just hear the velocity. Clisby looking like, wow, that might have hurt my hand after Nino fired that one in.
Sure is a catcher. Not the funnest pitch to receive. The 1-1 from Nino. Breaking ball on the inner third. Called strike. That was a beautiful pitch.
Yeah, and you could tell Harvey Maxey, the home plate umpire, was like, do I call it a strike? He kind of took a moment, but it's the right call, that drape.
Definitely had some fantastic break there at the end. Nino's going to step off briefly, recompose himself. Struggled a bit this year at the University of the Pacific, trying to get back on the horse, so to speak, showcase to the Tigers that he's got the good stuff. Here's the 1-2. Curveball down the middle, strike 3 called.
Really mixing the fastball velocity with the high breaking ball in there as well. Really good pitch mix so far from Nino.
Absolutely, he's looked magnificent so far. Carson Chavez possesses the lone hit for the Seagulls today. A leadoff double in the 2nd inning steps in now with two down, nobody aboard. Nino's first offering to Chavez. Off speed, fouled off on the right side, out of play. 0-1 to the Long Beach native. Chavez, in his last appearance against Walnut Creek, came on Friday night, June 27th, went 1 for 3 with a single, also walked. The 0-1 from Nino. Swinging a drive in foul territory on the right side again. Quickly 0-2 to Carson Chavez. Nathan Nino working some tough contact.
He's been really confident, just pounding the zone, not trying to be special with anything, and it's working.
Perhaps the best outing we've seen from him so far is the one hit allowed. Here's the 0-2 from the righty, looking for a put away. Swing and a miss. He gets it on the slider. 77 miles an hour on the outside corner. So following 2 straight strikeouts, we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Crawdads due up right after this. Welcome to the bottom of the 4th on the Crawdad streaming network. 4-5-6 due up for the Crawdads. Brandon Clisby, John Ewens, then Ryan Brome. Dwyer Lewis, the right-hander for the Seagulls, entering his 4th inning of work. Has allowed just the 1 hit and 1 run to Walnut Creek, both of which came back in the 2nd. Otherwise, he's been pretty spotless. Clisby 0 for 1 today. Grounded to short his first at-bat in the 1st inning. Lewis comes home, first offering in there for a strike. 73-mile-an-hour breaking ball on the outer 3rd.
Nino and Lewis have had a pretty similar approach of just pounding the zone, and both have had a lot of success out of it.
Absolutely, so far so good from the 2 righties on the mound. The 0-1 to Clisby. Breaking ball goes too far outside. 1-1 to the rising redshirt freshman at New Mexico State. Clisby 10 games for Walnut Creek, hitting .310, 8 runs batted in. The 1-1 breaking ball well outside in the opposite batter's box. 2-1 to the Crawdad catcher. Split time with Zach Justice and Joe Coupland behind the dish. The 2-1. Swing a ground ball over to short. Mayer collects, fires to first in time. 2 ground outs for Clisby on the day, both over to short. There'll be 1 down for John Ewens. Was the second base runner, for Walnut Creek. Had the leadoff walk in the 2nd inning. Also stole a bag. Ewens looking for his first hit of the day. Riding a 5-game hitting streak. First offering to the lefty. Breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes on Ewens. He's played pretty much every game that he's seen action in at first base. Does have the versatility to play outfield, though. The 1-0 from Lewis. Swing and a miss. Fastball inside.
Completely fooled him there. A really nice pitch from Lewis, break inside.
Absolutely a nice way to attack the inner part of the zone. Lewis sets at the belt, kicks and fires the 1-1, and he yanks it behind Lewis. Ewens, excuse me, 2-1. Lefty from Baylor played 11 games in his first action collegiately this spring for the Bears at 158. The 2-1, breaking ball, called strike 2 on the outer third. 2-2 to Ewens. Redshirted his true freshman season last spring in 2024. The 2-2 to Ewens, swinging a ground ball through the gap on the left side of the infield. Ewens works his first single of the day. He's reached base twice this afternoon. One aboard for Ryan Brome, another Texan native.
Designated hitter Ryan Brome.
Brome went to high school in the greater Houston area, Katy, Texas. Moved there ahead of his freshman year of high school from Washington State. Brome popped out to shortstop in his first at-bat in the second. First offering to him, swing and a miss. 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch gets the bite up in the zone.
You can tell Ewens wants to go. Even with a short lead, we saw him go last time he reached base.
Lewis throws over to first. Ewens has to step back safely. And you're right, Casey. Saw him steal the bag pretty much uncontested last time he was aboard. And he goes here on the 0-1. Once again, no throw from Chavez as that one called ball at the plate.
Tough spot for Lewis because that's kind of the reason he gave up the run there. That run doesn't probably score in that inning without the stolen base, and now the same opportunity with only one out.
Absolutely, Brome trying to drive in a run here. The 1-1 from Lewis. Check swing on an inside breaking ball. Brome holds up, it's 2-1. Third-year Crawdad, batting from the left side of the plate. 2 spectacular seasons at Southeastern Louisiana the past 2 springs. The 2-1 from Lewis, breaking ball driven into shallow right field, down for a base hit. Brome will stop at first, Ewens stops at third. 2 straight singles, runners on the corners as Brady Wilson comes up.
Good contact there from Brome, just to hit that right in the middle of the bat and drive it just enough, but not too far to get into the glove.
Absolutely. Magnificent piece of hitting from Brome. Now Wilson, another RBI opportunity for him. Struck out looking when Ewens was over at second in the second inning. Sacramento native readies from the right side. Takes a fastball upstairs, 1-0 from Lewis. Wilson this spring at Sac City College, 28 games, 256 hitter, 10 runs batted in. The 1-0 to Wilson. Fastball on the lower third called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Infield double play depth, you know, they really want that to keep this game close.
Double play would end the inning, pitcher's best friend. The 1-1 from Lewis. Check swing, appeal to first, says no. Wilson holds the bat. That was a breaking ball well below the knees. Either way, it's 2-1 on Wilson, whose father, Gary, pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates back in 1995. Here's the 2-1 offering, fouled back. Another breaking ball from Lewis, 2-2 to Wilson now.
We're talking to Brady about his dad playing with the Pirates, and he said he faced Barry Bonds and got him to register a good at-bat, we'll say.
Lewis kicks and deals the 2-2 breaking ball. Check swing, he went around. Runner still on the corners for Riley Leininger, the shortstop for Walnut Creek today. Had that RBI single to drive in Ewens back in the second inning. We'll look for a similar outcome here. Wilson was 2 for 4 on Sunday night against these very Seagulls. 2 singles, strikeout, and a walk. Snapped a 4-game hitless streak. First offer from Lewis bounces at home plate. Ewens will get in home safely. Brome round second initially, but he'll hold up. So the wild pitch allows another one to score. Crawdads up 2-0 here.
Big extra run there after some quiet bats heading into this inning.
Absolutely. So it'll be 1-0 on Leininger. Still a runner in scoring position and 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 offering from Lewis, fastball inside. Leininger has to move his body back out of the way.
He has that good discipline, even though he hasn't necessarily had the hits this year. That's why he's in the lineup. He can get aboard from the walk.
Absolutely, 16 base on balls this season for Leininger as he takes another fastball inside. 3 balls, no strikes.
I believe that's second on the team, just behind Ewens.
It is indeed. Second behind Ewens and Levitt McGee, if my memory serves me correct. Lewis from the stretch, the 3-0. Ball 4 below the knees. 2-out walk for Leininger, and it brings up Chris Esquivel. 2 aboard from the right-handed shortstop for Walnut Creek. Mark Caviglia, head coach for the Seagulls, is going to make a mound visit here. Talk to Lewis ahead of this one.
Nobody in the bullpen. Very quiet out there on both sides. Crawdads have the benefit of having a pretty shady bullpen for the most part, whereas the Seagulls guys got to wait out there in the sun.
Indeed they do. Also, no benches out in the away bullpen. Home bullpen can hold all of the pitchers. So that's what Walnut Creek does. They send all the pitchers to hang out, get warm over there. All the position players hang around in the dugout. Either way, runners at first and second for Chris Esquivel. Right-handed second baseman ready to go here. Esquivel struck out swinging in the second to end the inning. That was his 13th K of the year. Lewis delivers a breaking ball. Called strike on the outer third. A 1-1 to the San Diego native. Lewis gets the sign from Chavez. Brief glance at second. Here's the 0-1. Esquivel has to get well out of the way. And no, they're going to call it a balk. So both runners advance. Brome to third, Leininger to second. 2 runners in scoring position for Esquivel now. Home plate umpire Harvey Maxey is going to dust off the dish.
If you really think about it, that's almost like another wild pitch in this inning, and Lewis is really losing that control.
The 1-0 to Esquivel. Swinging a high pop-up, and it'll go in foul territory over towards the seats. 0-2 count now to Esquivel.
That was his pitch to hit, a looping breaking ball. Just a little late on it.
Lewis trying to strand 2 more runners here. One came across on the wild pitch. Here's the 0-2 as the righty kicks and deals. Breaking ball in the opposite batter's box. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Esquivel. 2 extra bases for Esquivel this season, both of them doubles. Also 2 runs batted in on the year. The 1-2. Swinging a ground ball over to short. Mayer fields, flips to first for the out. So the Crawdads strand 2 in the bottom of the 4th, but 1 comes across thanks to the wild pitch and a couple of singles. We'll head to the top of the 5th, see if the Seagulls can cut into the 2-0 deficit right after this. Welcome to the top of the fifth on the Crawdad streaming network. Walnut Creek up 2-0 as the San Francisco Seagulls up to bat once again. 5, 6, 7 due up. Derek Waldvogel, the designated hitter, will lead things off. The righty Nathan Nino still on the mound for Walnut Creek. He's looked really fantastic so far today, Casey. No runs allowed on just one hit.
Been really good. I mean, he came in today with a pretty high ERA. I'm sure he knew that in mind, trying to get that lowered.
Slow kick and a first offering to Waldvogel, slapped foul on the third base side. Quickly 0-1.
You mentioned Weaver a little bit on the Yankees. I mean, I see a little Nestor Cortez in there, just a tiny bit.
A little bit, yeah, I can definitely see it. Definitely a odd windup, that's the point. Here's the 0-1 to Waldvogel. Fastball misses the outer third. Nice location, though. 1-1. Nino comes set at the belt. Kicks and delivers. 90-mile-an-hour fastball well upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike on Waldvogel.
I don't know if a windup can beat Ray Hernandez, though, on the Legends, who are coming here tomorrow. He could pitch.
Indeed he could. Potentially the Wednesday starter. Here's the 2-1 from Nino. Check swing on the slider, called strike anyway. Nice recovery from Nino there. 13.81 ERA and 17 appearances this spring for Nino with the Tigers. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss. 76-mile-an-hour slider. Nice bite. 2 swinging strikeouts for Waldvogel on the day. Brings up Jake Brewer, third baseman. Brewer grounded out to short in the second inning. That was his first at-bat. Now the Kenyatta College man trying to get aboard for the first time today. Brewer shows bunt, but the fastball blows past him at 92 miles an hour. Strike 1. Nino spent 2024 at Fresno City College, appeared in 11 games. The 0-1 fastball upstairs. Made 1 start at FCC as well, 22 strikeouts in 13 1/3 innings pitched. Here's the 1-1 from the righty. Breaking ball hits Brewer square in the back. Brewer manages to get aboard for the first time today, and that's just the second base runner Nino has allowed all day.
Yeah, he was cruising through these last 2 in the 3rd innings and just lost a handle of that one now. We'll go to the stretch where he can't necessarily do as much of a exaggerated leg kick as he wants.
So we'll see how working from the stretch affects him here as Jackson Landry, the first baseman, up to bat. Significant lead for Brewer here at first. First offering to Landry upstairs on the 6'6", 225-pound man from Louisiana. The 1-0 from Nino. Swing and a miss. 89-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike on Landry. Rising sophomore at ULM. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a high pop-up in the infield. Esquivel calling for it at second. Puts the glove to it. 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
I didn't see an infield fly rule being signaled for. He could have dropped it, maybe gotten 2.
That could have been a heads-up play, but alas, don't elect for it. Perhaps he didn't think of it. Either way, Thomas Mayer working with 1 aboard here. 2 down in the top of the 5th. Seagulls try not to strand another one. First offering slapped foul on the right side, well in the air towards the Crawdad bullpen, but it's out of play. It'll be 0-1 to Mayer. Flew out to center field to lead off the 3rd inning. Mayer, Torrey Pines High School graduate, 301 average as a senior. Swings and misses, 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Some good range and velocity for Nino. Got to be deceptive when he's throwing 94 sometimes and then 89 the next.
The 0-2 from Nino as he looks for a put away. Fastball runs high at 93 miles an hour. But like you're right, very right, Kasey. He's changing velocities, changing locations. He's doing a really nice job pitching here. The 1-2 from the righty. Runner goes. The throw to first in time. Clisby had him by a mile. So Nathan Nino goes through 5 innings of work. Should the Crawdads hold on, he'll get credit for a win here in the CCL. We'll head back to the bottom of the 5th. Kasey Kazliner will take over play-by-play duties. We'll be right back on the Crawdad Streaming Network.
Welcome back to Danville, where the Crawdads lead 2-0 over the Seagulls. Almost set to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Crawdads would love to add on here, up 2-0, as Dwyer Lewis stays on the hill for San Francisco. He's done a solid job so far. He's given up those 2 runs, but not terribly hard contact allowed from him. It'll be the top of the Crawdads order here in the bottom of the 5th, up for the 3rd time. Trey Johnson, the lefty hitter, up. 0 for 2, reached on an error and flied out to center. Lefty hitter, righty pitcher as Lewis delivers a fastball off the outer corner, called a ball. 1-0. Johnson back in the leadoff spot after spending some time lower in the lineup, including in the 9-hole. So he waits on a 1-0 count here in the bottom of the 5th. Second delivery, checked his swing, pitch inside, taken for a ball. 2-0. Johnson talking in pregame. Grew up a huge Oakland A's fan. A lot of memories with them. 2-0 off speed in there for a strike. Right down the middle as Johnson takes 2-1. Hasn't seen a pitch yet he likes.
Johnson also working with a new bomb composite bat, debuting that one today, looking for a hit.
2-1 in the dirt, taken ball 3 as Johnson continues to hold that new bat on his shoulder. 3-1. Trying to get back on track after spending time lower in the lineup, but had a couple of base hits last game to impress the coaching staff. The 3-1, chopped on the ground over to first. Landry will take it to the bag himself, and that's the first out at the bottom of the 5th. So in this 2-0 ball game, that'll bring up Cam Taylor, 2 holes 0 for 2. The 2-hole, not his typical spot in the lineup either, but he's hitting solid 244 on the year. Also has a knack for finding the plate. 11 runs scored. Also with that good discipline, 10 walks. Lefty hitter digs in against the righty. The first offering to Taylor. Hit on the ground, rolled over to second. Hodges picks it up, fires to first in time. And back-to-back pitches with back-to-back groundouts.
Yeah, Crawdads continue to be aggressive early in these counts against Lewis, and really for the top of the lineup, it hasn't worked out in their favor.
2-0 ball game. It's a close one. Could be anyone's game, as that'll bring up Joey Donnelly. He's also 0 for 2. He's been the Crawdads' best hitter this season when he's played. Coming back from a visit on the East Coast where he's looking for schools out of the portal, eventually committed to Fordham. There's another lefty hitter for the Crawdads. Swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it straight into home plate pretty much. 0-1. Donnelly on a 5-game hitting streak, of course, took some games off during his East Coast trip. but he's been the CCL North's best to this point, and he wants to keep that up as the season continues. The 0-1. High fly ball, center field, going back toward the track, and it bounces off the top of the wall. Donnelly cruises into second, just a hair away from another home run, but it bounces right under that yellow part of the fence, and Donnelly's into second with a 2-out double.
Looks like it just took a couple at-bats for the man we like to call Joey Bags up here to get back into form, Casey. You're right, absolutely just another foot or two away from a dead center home run.
Already has hit one out to dead center for a blast this year, but gets the extra base hit, and that extends his hitting streak to 6 games.
Yeah, and his 4th double on the season, 5th extra base hit. Continues to rake.
So that'll bring up Brandon Clisby, 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs to short. Lewis in the stretch. Donnelly at second here in this 2-0 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. First offering to Clisby outside and in the dirt, taken ball 1. Clisby sharing time behind the dish with Zach Justice, guy currently in the portal out of Oregon. Clisby at New Mexico State. Pretty fidgety stance on the right side. The 1-0. Curveball drapes in for a strike. 1-1 on Clisby as he takes. I think Donnelly might have thought he had one right off the bat there, but still did a good job of running it out and getting into second easily.
Absolutely, Donnelly is a guy who's always hustling.
1-1 at the dish to Clisby with 2 away. Lewis delivers, swing and a miss. As it clips in and out of the glove of the catcher Chavez. It'll be 1-2.
That was a filthy breaking ball from Lewis. Loops towards Clisby on the inner half of the plate and then suddenly breaks all the way to the outside corner.
Clisby on a 5-game on-base streak, including a hit last game against San Francisco and a solid 300 average. 1-2 at the dish to Clisby. He's inside on the plate a little bit. As Dwyer with the glove on his hip looks in for the sign. Runner on second with 2 out, the 1-2. Curveball in there, strike 3 called. Clisby frozen on the breaking ball. So we'll go to the top of the 6th. Crawdads leave a man on second. It's 2-0 Walnut Creek here on the Crawdad streaming network. Set for the top of the 6th inning here in Danville. Crawdads up 2-0 as the new pitcher for Walnut Creek, Halen Guerrero, comes in for Nathan Nino. Had a great outing Went 5 full innings, only giving up 1 hit and no earned runs. As Guerrero stands in, posting a 3.6 ERA. He'll face 8-9-1, starting with the righty hitter Thomas Mayer, the shortstop. So he grounds one foul to the left side, 0-1 on the first pitch he sees. Mayer 0 for 1, flied out to center. Facing Guerrero for the first time. It's his 4th appearance of the regular season. It's been solid throughout. Righty pitcher from Santa Barbara City College. The 0-1. Off-speed pitch runs low, taken for ball 1, 1-1. Mayer, guy from San Diego. A couple of SoCal college guys facing off. The 1-1. Fastball low again, taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mayer, born and raised in San Diego, now goes to UC San Diego, studying economics there. The 2-1. Skied out to right field, running in, Donnelly toward the foul line, and will make the catch on the run for out number 1.
Athletic play out there for Donnelly. Has to track it and use that speed. Nearly just a foul ball.
Saw the speed when he hit the double and shows it on defense as well out in right field. So that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter Matt Galvin, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Canadian outfielder, first time against Guerrero. See, jams one in the infield, high pop up to third. Wilson there to make the catch, and there's 2 away. Some quick stuff on the Crawdads end. Saw only 3 guys come up last inning, 3 guys the inning before, and three guys up the inning before that. Last inning had a base runner, but that caught stealing only prevented a full inning of work on offense. As the lineup will flip over to Alan Ramirez, the righty hitter. So he takes off-speed outside corner, called a strike, 0-1. Ramirez 0 for 2, reached on an error, and lined out to center. Guerrero kicks and deals the 0-1. Rolled over to third. Wilson bobbles it, picks it up, throws to first in time. Didn't have it fully at first, but he recovers, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 inning. Crawdads pitching, staying flawless. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 Crawdads. Welcome back to Danville for the bottom of the 6th inning. Crawdads up 2-0 as Dwyer Lewis still in the game on the hill for San Francisco. The righty trying to work through his 6th inning of work. He'll face John Ewens, the lefty hitter, for the 3rd time. Ewens 1 for 1. He's had a great game so far. He walked and scored and singled and scored. So he's responsible for both of the Crawdads' runs so far. He also has a pair of stolen bags. Lefty hitter digs in. The first offering from Lewis. In there for a strike, inside corner around the knees, taken by Ewens. That's called a strike, 0-1. Ewens has been one of the Crawdads' best hitters, an RBI machine this season with 17. The 0-1 taken outside, breaking ball in the opposite batter's box, 1-1. Ewens has shown good discipline at the plate as well as a good contact tool with that single he had back in the 4th. Trying to continue his day. The 1-1. That one runs inside. Had to scurry out of the way, Ewens did. 2-1 on the Baylor Bear. It's 5th in average in the CCL North, hitting .357 entering today. 2-1 low, taken for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike after the fastball. Ewan's last game went 1 for 3 with an RBI. He's had a really good season to this point, trying to keep it up. The 3-1. Swung on and fouled right into the dirt and over to the Crawdads dugout. Now full count on Ewans. Rising redshirt sophomore at Baylor in his first year with the Crawdads. And his first year in summer ball altogether. The payoff pitch from Lewis loses control of the breaking ball outside. So it's the 2nd walk of the day for Ewans, his 3rd time on base, and he'll be a threat to go with Ryan Brome digging in.
Absolutely. I would not be surprised to see him swipe another bag here.
Has 2 on the day, like we mentioned, and 8 on the year as Ryan Brome, the righty hitter, digs in.
Not just that, Chavez hasn't thrown either time that Ewans has stolen.
Yeah, he's been gone in a flash. Brome today, 1 for 2 with a single. Lewis is offering in there for a strike. Fastball around the knees, 0-1. Crawdads up 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Still no outs with a man on first. 0-1 at the dish to Brome. Man from southeastern Louisiana. Throw over to first from Lewis, but Ewans back in without a slide. Brome got on base 5 times against Sonoma this past week, playing in select games for the Crawdads this year. The 0-1 as Ewans goes, trying to swipe another, but the pitch is fouled off to the left side. 0-2 out of play, so he'll have to go back.
That is just a case of unfortunate timing. Ewans had a fantastic jump, and then Brome decides to swing a little bit last minute and fouls it away.
Brome played at Texas Tech, then went to southeastern Louisiana. 0-2 count on him with Ewans at first. In the bottom of the 6th in this 2-0 ball game in favor of Walnut Creek. Another throw over to first. Ewans back in before the throw gets there safely. Brome, a .355 hitter with southeastern Louisiana in 2025. Really showing off to scouts his hit tool. The 0-2. Pitch runs outside and low, taken for a ball. 1-2 on Brome. Originally from Texas, has also lived in Washington after talking to him. Has sports fandom allegiances from all over. The 1-2. That one laced to the right side. And foul. That one right on the line out in deep right field. The umpire says no. He'll return to the box. Really close play there. And Brome looks a little bit like, man, I was this close to having possibly an RBI double.
I mean, he literally was inches from an RBI double, Casey. I think that one might have been, yeah, like I said, inches from clipping the line.
So Brome will dig back in against the righty pitcher, Lewis. 1-2 count at the dish with Ewans still at first in a short lead over there. Runner goes, the 1-2, grounded over to second. Hodges flips underhand to first. In time, Ewans gets to second, and there's one away.
Yeah, that one very slow. I'm not sure if they would have had a double play chance even if Ewans hadn't left really early, but because he did, they had absolutely 0 shot at turning 2. So heads up base running there.
So that'll bring up Brady Wilson, 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks on his day. 1 out in the inning. Ewans at second in this 2-0 ball game in the bottom of the 6th. Wilson hitting righty. Two-way guy playing third today. As Ewans dances around second. The pitch home. That one grounded foul to the left side, 0-1. 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Wilson has played in limited action as a position player. He's also played at DH and, of course, pitching every Friday. Stares at an 0-1 from Lewis. The man on second, Ewans. With 1 away. Lewis checks at second, now home. Pitch in the dirt. Taken 1-1 on Brady Wilson. Currently committed to University of the Pacific in the West Coast Conference. Not too far of a drive from his hometown of Sacramento. Tigers in Stockton. Wilson hitting .250 on the year in limited at-bats. The 1-1 home. Curveball low, taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on Brady Wilson. 6'2", 220 pounds. One of the more vocal guys in the dugout for the Crawdads. Ewins at second with the lead. The 2-1. Inside fastball around the knees. Taken ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Crawdads with some action in their bullpen. Cody Perry up and getting warm. Might see him next inning. Crawdads trying to add on in the bottom of the 6th. Meanwhile, Ewins at second. 3-1 count at the dish. Lewis's delivery runs inside. Ball 4. Curveball just misses the zone. It'll be first and second with 1 out as Wilson takes his base.
Yeah, way to work a walk there from Wilson, who's got now just 3 on the season in 5 games. Has been one of the most disciplined batters for Walnut Creek, but right there does a really nice job forcing Lewis to make pitches that ultimately he didn't.
So 2 walks in the inning for the Crawdads as Dwyer Lewis starting to lose some command, as it looks like San Francisco sending somebody to get warm in the bullpen. So it looks like Ben Eisenhower getting loose. He might come in either this inning or next.
Yeah, first time we've seen action in the pen for the Seagulls today.
So that'll bring up Riley Leininger, playing shortstop for the first time this season. He's had a good game as well. 1 for 1 with an RBI single and a walk. Been stranded on base both times. Lefty hitter digs in with 2 aboard and 1 out. So he checks his swing at the first one he sees, called the ball inside, 1-0. Leininger has kind of moved down the order with his struggles this season, hitting out of the 8 spot today. Waits for a 1-0 pitch from Lewis inside. Taken for a ball, 2-0 on Leininger.
He's been really good of late, Casey. Past 2 games, he's got 3 hits in 5 at-bats so far. A pair of walks as well.
The 2-0 pitch. Hit on the ground over toward first. Landry will take it to first himself as both runners advance, and there's 2 away. So it's Ewins on third, and now Wilson at second as Leininger grounds out to first. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Chris Esquivel, or USC Trojan, hitting 0-0-0, 0-0 coming into the season. Had to do a double take because we did see him last time, and that was his Seagulls debut. Getting his second appearance today. First offering from Perry, fastball outside, 1-0. With Hodges on first and nobody out. Seagulls only with 2 hits so far today. No runs across for the team from San Francisco. Perry's 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike, outside corner, 1-1. Hodges over at first with a pretty comfortable lead. Haven't really seen much motion from the limited base runners that the Seagulls have had on the base pass. Perry from the stretch, he deals the 1-1, and that one hits the thigh of Hansen, so he'll go to first. Now back base runners to start the inning as Hodges goes to second. Still nobody out. So the third batter of the inning will be Carson Chavez, who is probably a guy that the Seagulls like to have up right now in this position, down 2 runs. He had an extra base hit back in the second, doubling out to right center. Also struck out, so he's 1 for 2. As Perry tries to limit the damage. Infield in on the corners. Ewins and Wilson, first and third baseman, touching the green grass. Perry delivers a fastball outside corner, in there for a strike, going 1. Chavez from Long Beach, California. For Fordham University, will be a teammate of Joey Donnelly, Crawdad's right fielder. So he waits on the 0-1 from Perry. Perry looks down and pirouettes over towards second. Runners return. No throw. Crawdads in their red tops with white pants. Seagulls in their road gray pants with black jerseys. Crawdads looking for the season sweep of the Seagulls. The 0-1. hit straight up the middle, and it'll bounce off second base and go into center field for a base hit. 1 run being waved around. Hodges will score. The throw into third, not in time, as meanwhile, Chavez will get into second on the throw. So the Seagulls score. It's 2-1 now. Still nobody out, and they have runners on second and third here in the top of the 7th. So looks like it'll be a pinch hitter for Derek Waldvogel, who would be hitting. It'll be Pranav Sundar. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Now in this 2-1 ball game, as Perry gets a visit from pitching coach Dustin Cheney upon facing Pranav Sundar. It all started with the single from Hodges, then the hit by pitch on Hansen. Then Chavez with the base hit, and then he reached to second, scoring in the run there. And now the Seagulls potentially a base hit away, taking the lead, potentially. So conference on the hill. Dustin Cheney doesn't seem to be too worried, calming down Perry. There is action in the Crawdads bullpen with Colin Nowacek getting warm. That pitch was hit by Chavez directly up the middle, bounced off second base, trickled into center field, giving runners enough time to advance. As Pranav Sundar digs in for the first time. Righty hitter coming in for Derek Waldvogel. Sundar hitting 139 on the year with a teal bat. Infield in for the Crawdads, likely trying to gun down the runner at the plate as the first pitch in there for a strike on the curveball. Check that, a ball called on the inside corner, 1-0. Perry trying to calm himself down. Infield in for the Crawdads, runners on second and third, nobody out. The 1-0. Fastball outside corner in there for a strike, 1-1. Chavez at second, Hansen at third. Nobody out with Sundar at the plate. Trying to come in as a pinch hit hero here in the top of the 7th inning. Perry's 1-1. Laced over toward third. Wilson gets it on the backhand, throws to first in time as all runners stay put. And that's a big out, number 1.
And another magnificent play defensively from Brady Wilson at third. Does a really nice job just handling the ball, checking over to make sure leading runner Hansen doesn't move.
Got it on the backhand, was playing in, as it looks like the Crawdads infield still playing in with 1 away. As Jake Brewer will come in. He's been the best hitter of the season for the Seagulls so far. But today he's 0 for 1. Runners on second and third, 1 away. Righty hitter digs in, swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball low in the zone. 0-1. Brewer was hit by a pitch in the 5th and was caught stealing by Crawdads catcher Brandon Clisby. He also grounded out to short. 0-1 to him with 1 away. Swing and a miss. Scooped on the 75-mile-an-hour slider low in the zone. Quick 0-2 from Cody Perry. He was trying to get out of the inning, holding the Crawdads lead intact. Now a total of 3 hits in the game for the Seagulls. Entered this inning with only 1. Perry towing the first base side of the rubber. Checks in for the sign, now delivers. High fastball taken for ball 1, 1-2. Close miss there. Brewer playing third base today. Mentioned his hitting ability. Leads the team in hits with 25 and RBI with 10. The 1-2. Fastball runs outside, taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brewer. Has played a pair of seasons at Kenyatta College, career .324 hitter. So there was no doubt it was going to translate to the CCL, where he's also hit over 300. Perry at the belt. Kicks and deals the 2-2. High fly ball into right field. This should be deep enough, as Donnelly will make the catch. Runner tags from third, and Hansen will get in safely. They threw into second to try to get Chavez, but he got back in safely as he took a little bit of a lead but did not tag up. So it's a tied ball game as Hansen scores on the sacrifice fly. Productive out from Brewer. There's 2 away in this 2-2 game. That brings up Jackson Landry. The runner on second is Chavez. He's still there. Perry trying to get out of the inning without giving up the lead fully. First pitch runs inside on Landry. 1-0. Landry 0 for 2 with a fly out and a pop out. If he can get a base hit, the Seagulls might be in business for even more. The 1-0. Fastball just outside, taken for a ball, 2-0. Perry shakes his head, frustrated after coming out of his best outing last time around. And Sonoma struggling here against the Seagulls. Looks at second, now back to the plate, the 2-0. High pop-up in the infield, right side. Ewens will get under it, make the catch, and the side is retired. But damage has been done. The Seagulls tie it up, scoring twice. It's 2-2 as we go to the 7th inning stretch here on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Tied ball game as we start the bottom of the 2nd inning. Dwyer Lewis still on the mound for San Francisco in this 2-2 game. He's trying to get through his 7th inning of work, and he's done a pretty good job so far, only giving up 4 hits and 2 runs. So he'll face the top part of the Crawdads order, starting with the 2-hole Cam Taylor, who's trying to break out of a 0 for 3 day, where he struck out, grounded out, and flied out. First offer to him, fouled straight into the dirt. 0-1. Lewis has been solid so far, inducing weak contact for the Crawdads, and they have scored twice, but again, it's been a pretty solid day for Lewis, who's induced weak contact.
Yeah, only 4 hits allowed, only 1 really deep fly ball, Joey Donnelly on that double back in the 5th. But yeah, beyond that, Lewis has been really spectacular so far today, Casey.
0-1 at the dish to Taylor as they get him, Dwyer Lewis a new ball. Lefty hitter Taylor in the 2 spot today. Has not done much though, as the Crawdads' top part of the order tries to work out of this lackluster day at the top. 0-1 at the dish to Taylor, nobody out here in this 2-2 game. Curveball in there for a strike on the 0-1, outside corner taken 0-2. Taylor's been at 3 different colleges so far, looking for his 4th. He's in the portal right now. We've seen thousands of players across the country enter the portal. The 0-2 bounces in front of the plate, taken for a ball, 1-2 on the changeup. Taylor, 23 years of age, one of the more seasoned Crawdads. A veteran to say the least. He'll wait on a 1-2 from Lewis, who deals from the windup. That pitch runs inside, a half swing from Taylor, but he didn't go around. 2-2. Taylor out of Stevenson High School in Georgia. First year with the Crawdads. The 2-2. Curveball. Got him. Outside corner, rung him up. And there's one out as Dwyer Lewis continuing to shove a little bit here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, continues to locate the breaking ball really well. Crawdads hitters continue to think it's outside, and ultimately it's not.
So with one out, that'll bring up Joey Donnelly. Doubled off the top of the left center wall back in the 5th. That's his lone hit today. He's 1 for 3 otherwise. Lefty hitter digs in with his wide open stance against the righty pitcher. First offering inside, taken for a ball, 1-0. Donnelly playing right field today, back in the lineup after his East Coast trip. Mentioned earlier, he committed to Fordham just recently after playing at Cal. The 1-0, and that one driven to right field. Ramirez tracking back. It looks like he'll make the catch right at the track. He puts the glove up, and Donnelly robbed of a home run once again.
He's been really close twice today, Casey. Unfortunately, that one didn't quite have enough carry. A little bit of wind blows it back in the field.
That's been the story of the Crawdads' day so far. Trey Johnson also snake bitten in a similar spot last inning.
Absolutely, but credit Donnelly. He's back on it, swinging for power and for average.
That'll bring up Brandon Clisby, 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. See, half swings, called a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Dwyer Lewis booked already for a quality start, trying to keep it. 0-1 at the dish to Clisby, the righty hitter. See, chops one over toward short. Mayer picks it up on one hop, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. 7 strong for Dwyer Lewis. He walks to the dugout slowly after retiring the side in order here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll go to the top of the 8th, 2-2 ball game. Top of the 8th inning here in Danville. New pitcher for the Crawdads here in this 2-2 ball game. It's Colin Nowacek coming in for Cody Perry after his tough inning. Crawdads go to a lefty. Nowacek with a 2.63 ERA. Coming off a really good start against San Francisco on June 26th, where he went 5 scoreless innings. See, throws inside to Thomas Mayer. Called the ball 1-0. Mayer 0 for 2. Couple of flyouts facing Nowacek, the lefty, for the first time. In there for a strike on the 1-0. Fastball low in the zone. 1-1. Nowacek, 19 years old, out of Nebraska. He's a Nebraska native as well, playing with the Huskers. The 1-1 runs inside and goes through the 5-hole of Clisby, taken for a ball. 2-1. Nowacek just finished his first season at Nebraska, posts a 7 ERA in 10 appearances, all out of the bullpen. But with the Crawdads, he's mixed in the bullpen and being a starter. The 2-1, high fly ball, center field, shallow. Johnson going to his left, and he'll make the catch in right center for out number 1. So with 1 out, that'll bring up Matt Galvin. He's 0 for 2 as well, as the bottom of the Seagulls order has not been able to do much today. But they're still in this game. It's 2-2. After they went down 2-0, they scored twice last inning. It's Galvin, the righty hitter, against the lefty Nowacek. First offering, fastball outside corner, taken for a ball. Close, but it's 1-0. Galvin out of Calgary, Alberta. The 1-0. Hit off the end of the bat, out to right field. Fly ball, Donnelly under it, and he'll make the catch. Back-to-back flyouts induced by the new pitcher, Nowacek. So back-to-back flyouts, and the lineup will turn over to Alan Ramirez here in the top of the 8th in this 2-2 ball game. Ramirez 0 for 3. Error reached on in the first, and then a line out and a ground out. As the righty hitter digs in at the top of the order. So he fouls one straight back. 0-1 from Nowacek. Ramirez from not too far from here, Santa Clara, California, playing at nearby San Jose State. The 0-1. High pop-up in foul territory behind home plate. Clisby chasing it, and he's going to find it and make the catch for the 3rd out. 1-2-3 inning, and they're in the top of the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Crawdads and Seagulls tied at 2. Set for the bottom of the 8th inning here in Danville. Crawdads and Seagulls all knotted up at 2. As it really comes down to who can make that extra play to get the lead, as the Crawdads try to do that here. Dwyer Lewis still on the hill for San Francisco. He's gone 7 full innings, trying to make it 8. Righty pitcher has been phenomenal so far for San Francisco. John Ewens will dig in. The lefty hitter 1 for 1, but he's been on base 3 times as a single and 2 walks. First pitch on him, runs inside, 1-0 from Lewis. Still staying strong in this game. He's been phenomenal, though. 6 total strikeouts on a Seagulls team that struggled with pitching. The 1-0 pitch, curveball outside, taken for ball 2. 2-0 on Ewens, who showed his discipline today already. Swiped two bags so far, has that single as well. The 2-0 pitch. That one clips Ewens on the knee. So he'll take first, as it's a leadoff base runner for the Crawdads, and the 4th time John Ewens has been on base. So no outs here in the inning as Ryan Brome comes up. Dwyer Lewis still on the hill with nobody warming up in the bullpen for San Francisco. They'll go to the stretch now. Ewens definitely a threat to go. Mentioned a pair of stolen bases on his day so far. So lefty hitter Brome digs in. He's 1 for 3 with a single. So it looks like pinch hitter in the circle for the Crawdads. Ryan Ellis will be next for the first time. First offering to Brome is lined out to right center field in the gap, and it'll drop for a base hit. Ewens rounding second. He's going to go to third, and he'll stop there as Brome cruises into second with a big double. Second and third, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Magnificent piece of hitting for Ryan Brome, which I do believe is his first extra base hit of the season for Walnut Creek. He's been waiting on one. He's got the power, finally flashes it there.
Tough spot for Dwyer Lewis as Mark Caviglia, head coach, heading out to the mound, likely to end the day for the right-hander as Brome puts the Crawdads in prime position to take the lead. In any case, it'll be pinch hitter for the Crawdads at the dish as Ryan Ellis will come in for Brady Wilson. Wilson had struggled previously with 2 strikeouts and a walk. So Ellis trying to right the ship at the 7th spot, as it looks like Dwyer Lewis will stay in the game after talking to head coach Mark Caviglia, named head coach officially just days ago after the departure of Ryan Davis. So the lefty hitter, Ryan Ellis, digs in for the first time. Normally plays middle infield, so he might be moved there next inning. Infield in on the corners and in the middle for San Francisco. Runners on second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch runs inside on Ellis, and he says it hit him. If that holds up, he's going to first, and that'll load the bases with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. As Mark Caviglia, head coach, slowly walking out of the Seagulls dugout. And it looks like that will end the day of Dwyer Lewis after a really solid day, but he loads the bases in the bottom of the 8th. Eisenhower will be the new pitcher. We'll have more on him in just a moment. We'll head to a break. Bases loaded for the Crawdads. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Welcome back to Danville after the pitching change. Ben Eisenhower now taking over for Dwyer Lewis, who left the bases loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th in a tied ball game. Big spot for Riley Leininger, who digs in. He's 1 for 2, a walk, a single, and a ground out. Bases loaded, bottom of the 8th, nobody out. As the lefty pitcher deals curveball in there for a strike. Eisenhower this season Part of a struggling pitching staff for the Seagulls. He has a 10 ERA to this point. Lefty pitcher from Cal State East Bay. Works an 0-1 count against Leininger, the lefty hitter. Bases juiced, infield in. That time taken outside, 1-1 on the off speed. It's been 2 hit by pitches and a double in the inning for the Crawdads. Ewens at first, Brome at second, and Ellis at first. Leininger at the dish. Crawdads trying to take the lead after going up 2-0 initially, but losing it. It's 2-2. The 1-1. In there for a strike. Fastball around the knees, outside corner as Eisenhower paints the frame. 1-2. Eisenhower, 6 feet tall, 165 pounds, out of San Jose, California. Playing at Cal State East Bay. His second year in summer ball. 1-2 count to Leininger. The pitch. Outside and low, blocked out in front by Chavez. Taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eisenhower spent time at Bluffton University and West Valley College before going to Cal State East Bay. Said in an interview, chose Cal State East Bay to come back to California to play near family and friends for his last year, as he'll be a rising grad student come next year. The 2-2 to Leininger, the lefty hitter. Hit on the ground over to the right side, and it'll trickle through to the infield for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Brome. He's going to score, and it's an RBI, 2 RBI single for Riley Leininger as he cruises into first. 2-run score, and Ellis goes to second.
Fantastic piece of hitting. Leininger just puts bat to the ball, lets everything else take care of itself. Really hard hit. So Hodges struggled at second. And definitely close whether or not that was an error or a base hit. I definitely think base hit, though.
Well, the infield was way in, so regardless of how the contact was going to go, Leininger was likely going to get a base knock as the infield goes back to normal now. Chris Esquivel digs in. 2 on, 1 out in this 4-2 ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Eisenhower delivers. Hit to the right side, high, and in foul territory. It'll bounce in the Crawdads bullpen for strike 1. Crawdads looking to sweep the season series against the Seagulls, a team that they haven't had much trouble against. Although this game has been the most competitive one of them all. 0-1 at the count to Esquivel. 2 on in this close game in Danville. Lefty pitcher, righty hitter. Eisenhower delivers. Low and in the dirt, taken for ball 1, 1-1. Big knock there for Leininger, who has a total of 3 RBIs on the day on 2 singles after coming into today with an average under 200. So a big spot for the man from Texas originally. The 1-1 from Eisenhower. Esquivel takes a high fastball, 2-1. Esquivel 0 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out. He waves the bat high above his head. The 2-1. Half swing in there for a strike. He said he went around on the off-speed pitch on the inner part of the plate. 2-2 on Esquivel. Playing second base today, the position we've seen him in all season. The 2-2. Curveball in there, ring him up. Strike 3 called. That pitch looped in on the outer corner and rings up Esquivel. It's his second strikeout of the day.
That was a filthy breaking ball from Ben Eisenhower. I mean, it starts well into the left-handed batter's box and just breaks its way in. Stuns Esquivel.
First strikeout of the day for Eisenhower, who, of course, gave up those 2 runs, but both will hang on the head of Dwyer Lewis, previous pitcher. Trey Johnson digs in as the lineup flips over. He's 0 for 4 in the leadoff spot. The lefty hitter takes a curveball in there for a strike. 66 miles an hour with plenty of break. And it's 0-1 on Trey Johnson. Johnson reached on an error in the first, flied out twice to center, and grounded out. Went out in the inning, first and second. The 0-1 in there for a strike. Fastball outer corner as Johnson disagrees. He digs back in with an 0-2 count. Eisenhower in control in this lefty-lefty matchup. infield pretty much straight away, with the shortstop Mayer trying to hold on Ellis. The 0-2. Curveball in the dirt, taken for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Johnson, who was moved back to the leadoff spot. Started there to begin the season on opening day and then moved down after struggling a bit at the plate. But he's back there now after a string of good performances. Johnson waits from Eisenhower, who takes a breath. Now kicks and fires the 1-2. That one in the dirt, and Chavez loses it. Both runners will advance. On the wild pitch, that one bounced in the opposite batter's box, and Chavez couldn't get a hand on it.
That's huge for the Crawdads. Takes away the potential inning-ending double play. Johnson with a little bit less pressure now, and even better RBI chance with 2 in scoring position.
Runners on second and third. 1 out in the inning. 2-2 on Johnson at the dish. Infield comes in now, likely trying to gun down the runner at the plate should that happen. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Got him to chase as Johnson's upset. He slams the bat into the dirt, and there's 2 away.
That's just a filthy pitch from Eisenhower. Has Johnson well out in front, completely fooled.
Outside of that 2 RBI single given up by Eisenhower, he's been good with back-to-back strikeouts. So that'll bring up Cam Taylor. Similar spot. Moved up the order, just like Johnson. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the 8th after the Crawdads have already gotten 2. First offering to Taylor, taken outside, 1-0. Another breaking ball from Eisenhower, the lefty pitcher. Taylor, the lefty hitter, a pair of strikeouts on his day, a ground out and a fly out. So he's 0 for 4. As top 2 hitters in the Crawdads order have not been able to do much. The 1-0. Fastball outside to Taylor, 2-0. He takes. Taylor digs back in with a somewhat open stance. Seagulls trying to get out of this inning, come up one more time, and try to muster back some runs to avoid yet another loss to the Crawdads. The 2-0 pitch. Eisenhower kicks and deals outside. Fastball again. 3-0 on Taylor. Temps have cooled down here in Danville. Game started with temps around 90 degrees. Joey Donnelly would be next if Taylor can get aboard. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. 78-mile-an-hour changeup around the middle part of the plate. 3-1 on Taylor. Crawdad's top 3 hitters in the lineup have only been able to get 1 base hit, and that belongs to Donnelly. Johnson reached on an error, of course, at the leadoff spot, but that's all the others have gotten. The 3-1 curveball in the dirt, taken, ball 4. That'll load the bases with 2 outs for Joey Donnelly, who could very well hit one hard here.
Absolutely a prime opportunity for Donnelly to do what he does best. Get on base and drive in runs.
So Donnelly, lefty hitter, digs in. Base is loaded for the Crawdads. They've already scored twice in the inning. They're up 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Ben Eisenhower trying to get out of the inning, get his guys back swinging. Joey Donnelly, on the other hand, trying to extend the lead. Crawdads will play Menlo tomorrow before a 2-day break, and then they'll go to slow. First offering to Joey Donnelly, and that one's laced to right center field, down for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes another. Taylor going to third. Donnelly racing towards second. He'll slide in, and it's a 2 RBI double for Joey Donnelly as he scores in Ellis and Leininger, and it is 6-2 Walnut Creek.
Joey Baggs strikes again, Casey. Now back to the CCL lead in RBIs at 19, 1 over Ewens, his teammate. Oh man, welcome back, Joey.
Like you mentioned, that RBI tally in. Joey Baggs, Joey Fordham, whatever you want to call him. He's delivered at the plate today for the Crawdads. Now 6-2. So that'll bring up Brandon Clisby, who's 0 for 4. Runners on second and third, 2 out in the inning. First offering to Clisby inside, 1-0. So one of those runs will belong to Dwyer Lewis. One of them will hang on the head of the current pitcher, Eisenhower. So So Lewis, his day is done. Second offering in there for a strike. 1-1 on Clisby. We mentioned was grounded out 3 times to short, also struck out. Taylor on third. Donnelly at second. That's 2 doubles today. The 1-1. Curveball in there for a strike. Big break on it as Clisby takes. It's 1-2. So Dwyer Lewis ends up going solid day, but he gave up, when it's all said and done, 5 earned runs. Even though he is in the unfortunate position of not actually pitching to these guys. The 1-2, chopped on the ground over toward third, a slow roller. Brewer picks it up, and he's going to throw back toward third. Everybody's safe as the run comes across, and the Crawdads take another. Runners on the corners, now 7-2.
Great hit from Brandon Clisby, you know, doing a magnificent job just staying on the ball and fighting it off. They're on a 1-2 count, and he muscles it just enough. Soft roll on the infield grass. Tough play for Brewer.
So it's now 7-2 Crawdads. Runners on the corners. So Crawdads have now bat around. John Ewens will come up. He's hit by a pitch and scored to lead off the inning. Donnelly over at third base. Of course, had that big RBI double. 2 RBI double, in fact. So we'll, after the little break there, we'll come back with John Ewens, the lefty hitter, now back up again. He's been on base 4 times. The Crawdads have broken out here for 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th. So Ewens takes a curveball in there for a strike, going 1. Mentioned Ewens, he's been on base a variety of different ways. 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and a single. As he hits one high and deep, right field. Ramirez going back at the wall, and he makes the catch. Wow. Ramirez ranges up and says no. Ewens go back to the dugout, and that'll end the inning. Crawdads robbed of a big home run. We'll go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Crawdads scored 5 there here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 9th inning with Braden Barnes set to come on the hill. Shutdown guy for the Crawdads as they lead 7-2. Last 3 outs here for San Francisco after the tie was broken in the bottom of the 8th as the Crawdads scored 5. Braden Barnes, the left-hander on the hill, 6'2", 195 pounds out of Basha High School. Now at New Mexico State. Had an immaculate inning against these Seagulls this past week. As the first offering, foul territory on the right side, and it's going to drop right in front of the Crawdads dugout for strike one. Mentioned that immaculate inning from Barnes came in the 9th inning against San Francisco on the road in San Bruno, and the Crawdads had an incredible win there. He has a 3.86 ERA on the year. He's really racked up the strikeout numbers. The 0-1. Check swing, appeal over to first. He didn't go. So 1-1 count after the low pitch.
And you're right, Casey. He's second in the league in strikeouts right now with 24. Barnes has just been magnificent at putting guys away.
Especially for a reliever. Swing and a miss from Hodges. 1-2 on the fastball. Righty hitter goes.
Hey, leads the league in terms of relievers, sandwiched between 2 starters in the top 3.
Really impressive stuff. The 1-2 high fastball taken by Hodges. 2-2. Hodges today 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 7th. That was the inning where the Seagulls were able to retie the game after scoring twice. As he ropes one up the middle, and it'll drop into center field for a base hit. Hodges gets into first. And so the Seagulls have a leadoff base runner here in the top of the 9th, trying to extend the game, as Barnes will now pitch from the stretch. Pretty good game for Hodges, now with 2 singles. Considering that's half of the Seagulls' hit total. They have 4 hits today. Josh Hansen will dig in. He was hit by a pitch and scored back in the 7th. 0 for 2 otherwise. First offering to him, fastball swing and a miss, 90 miles an hour high in the zone. 0-1. And at first is Hodges. Could see him go. He has speed. The 0-1. High pitch called, the ball 1-1. Barnes officially with a 1-1 record on the year for the Crawdads. Has had some outings where he's gone longer than just an inning. The 1-1 high fastball taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Barnes' best appearance came against the Saints in a game the Crawdads would like to forget. But he had 7 strikeouts in just 3 1/3 innings. The 2-1. Another high fastball, same spot, taken for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike on the righty hitter Hansen. Barnes, one of a few returning Crawdads from last year. Of course, we'll play at New Mexico State next year. The 3-1, high fastball once more, taken for ball 4. So it's back-to-back base runners given up by Barnes as Hansen takes first, with Hodges going to second. There's still nobody out. So that'll bring up Carson Chavez with 2 men aboard and nobody out in the top of the 9th. Chavez accounts for the other half of the Seagulls' hits. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Also struck out in the 4th inning. So the first offering to him, called a strike around the knees, 0-1. Chavez and company trying to do some damage here and keep the game going. Down 5 in the top of the 9th inning. Crawdads up 7-2. The 0-1 fouled off Clisby's mask. Count goes to 0-2. Barnes looking for the K here. Crawdads infield somewhat double play depth. Oh-2 count at the dish. The lefty Barnes looks in and delivers. Pitch low in the zone, blocked out in front, and it gets away from Clisby. Throw into second. And the throw was in time, but Esquivel dropped the ball. So both runners will advance on the wild pitch. Now 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out, and a 1-2 count at the dish.
That's a really tough break. Clisby did a nice job getting to the ball. Magnificent throw on the line in time.
Esquivel just couldn't keep it in his glove. 1-2 count. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Swing and a miss. High and tight fastball got Chavez to go. And that's yet another strikeout on Barnes' season. With 1 away, that'll bring up Pranav Sundar for the 2nd time. Came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th and grounded out to 3rd. Part of that 2-run inning for San Francisco. So the righty hitter digs in. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the top of the 9th. Barnes trying to sit him down. First pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Paints the inside corner, 0-1. Sundar out of Coppin State. Spent time at Cuesta College before that. The 0-1, fouled straight back to the screen, 0-2. Barnes really attacking the zone after missing some high fastballs on the walk just moments ago to Josh Hansen. Right now is in control against Pranav Sundar. The 0-2 with 1 out. And that one bounces in the dirt, gets away from Clisby. He can't find it, and a 1-run will score. Runner moves to 3rd, and so it's 2 wild pitches that are costly for Barnes, and it's 7-3. So Hansen over at 3rd. Hodges scores. And now a 1-2 count at the dish to Sundar in this 7-3 game in the top of the 9th. Barnes pitch. Fouled back to the screen once more. 1-2 again. Barnes started his collegiate career at Arizona State, now at New Mexico State. After transferring there just weeks ago. The 1-2 in the dirt. That time blocked by Clisby on the fastball. 2-2. Sundar takes. Barnes, an Arizona native himself from Chandler. The 2-2. That one lifted to the right side, foul as it bounces in the Crawdads bullpen. We'll do 2-2 again. Sundar trying to work a good at-bat against Barnes, a guy who's really hard to face. As we know this season, he struck out just so many guys in the amount of innings he's thrown. The 2-2 outside and in the dirt. 3-2 on Sundar. So he works an 0-2 into a full count. Barnes looks in for the sign. Lefty pitcher on the first base side of the rubber. The payoff. That pitch in there for a strike 3. 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Rings up Sundar. And that's back-to-back Ks for the lefty.
It's a really nice pitch there. Sundar was catching up to the fastball. Barnes had to go off speed there. Got to challenge the righty hander inside, and he does.
So last chance is Jake Brewer with a man on 3rd in the 7-3 game here in the top of the 9th. Crawdads looking for their 14th win of the year. Brewer swings at the first pitch, grounds it foul to the left side, 0-1. Seagulls, with the loss today, would go to 5-18, struggling through their first 23 games, in which they have not beaten the Crawdads. 0-1 at the dish to Brewer. Runner on 3rd. Second offering outside and high on the fastball, 1-1. Barnes looking for another positive appearance. Like you mentioned, the strikeout numbers are there. Really a shutdown guy. The 1-1 just a bit high again, 2-1. He was all CCL as a reliever last year, Barnes was, with these very Crawdads. The 2-1. Fouled off Clisby a little bit, then goes back to the screen, 2-2. Barnes at Arizona State, 2 appearances for an inning and a third. So didn't really show off what he had there. That's why he entered the portal.
Yeah, deep bullpen there for the Sun Devils.
2-2 at the dish. High fastball, can't locate. 3-2 again. Barnes works another full count. Back-to-back batters. Looking for his 3rd straight K. Runner on 3rd, 2 outs in the inning. 3-2 at the dish. Here's the payoff. Lifted foul behind the screen. Count stays full. Crawdads first in the CCL North, trying to keep that standing. They'll play tomorrow and have a pair of off days on the 3rd and 4th for the holiday. The payoff again. Chopped foul left side. We'll do things again. Down still at 3-2. Crawdads will make their first significant, possibly only significant trip of the year in terms of distance against the Slow Blues this weekend, heading down to San Luis Obispo for a 2-game series. Payoff again. Fouled off to the right side. A good battle here between Brewer and Barnes.
Perhaps the best pitcher in the relieving terms, I should say, for Walnut Creek, and the best hitter for the Seagulls. Brewer right now. They're just going at it.
The payoff again. Hit on the ground sharply over toward third. That one squeaks through for a base hit. The run scores. It's now 7-4 after the RBI single from Brewer. So he gets into first. And the game lives on just a little bit further. So the game lives on as we'll have a pinch hitter here for the Seagulls. Yet another one. It'll be Shane Santaga coming in for Jackson Landry, who was 0 for 3. Brewer over at first, 2 outs in the inning. Barnes trying to get through this without any more damage. Righty hitter against the lefty pitcher. Santaga searching for some more success on the season. He jams one foul to the right side, 0-1. Santaga out of Lawrence University, hit .253 in 2025 in his first season. He represents the last chance once again here in the 7-4 game in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. Santaga does not have a hit yet this season in 7 at-bats. The 0-1, lifted foul to the right side, 0-2. Barnes another strike away from ending this ball game. Brewer over at first. Barnes doesn't really have to worry much about him. 2 runs across in the inning. The 0-2. Ring him up, strike 3 called. And that's the ball game. Crawdads sweep the season series against San Francisco. They win their 14th game of the season. And through 20 games, the Crawdads are 14-6. So that'll do it here in Danville. Crawdads win 7-4. Crawdads had 7 runs on 8 hits and an error. Seagulls with 4 runs on 5 hits and an error. And that'll do it. We'll be back tomorrow against Menlo, same time here at 4, as the Crawdads will look to right the ship against a Menlo Legends team. Crawdads lost to on a walk-off in San Mateo. So that'll just about do things from Danville. I'm Kasey Kazliner. Of course, we thank you as always, and thank my partner Charlie Limoncelli for this presentation of Crawdads baseball. We'll be back tomorrow, like we said, as the Crawdads get a big win here on Monte Vista Field.